So this may not seem that important, but really it is because it's going to be the finishing touch. So what we're doing is I'm helping my brother switch out a Corian or acrylic countertop to Taj Mahal natural stone. So the where the countertop on acrylic is typically 1.5 inches, and that's because when you purchase the acrylic, it's a 1/2 inch thick, and they normally add 3 layers on the edge to build it up, which means you'd get 1.5 inches, and we measured it, and that's what it was. So when you go to a natural stone, typically it's 3 cm, which is 1.25 inches. So we're going to have that 1/4 inch gap. Now, depending on the natural stone, it might be a little less than 1/4 inch, or it could be a little more than 1/4 inch. Fortunately, I had a piece of the Taj Mahal here, and I measured it. I think it came from the same batch, and it's just a touch over the 1.25 inches. So our gap is going to be a touch under 1/4 inch. So what I did was I took some cherry, and the reason we picked cherry is because that's what kind of molding they have around that kitchen area. But then there's tiles. So that's where the problem is the tiles come down to the countertop. So once you pull out the Corian top and put in the natural stone top, you're going to have a 1/4 inch gap there, about a 1/4 inch gap. So the concept was, since cherry would match the other molding, we would put a piece of cherry to fill that gap. So I think the tiles are a little over a 1/4 inch thick. They're probably 3/8. I may look, I'm pretty sure that's what they are, but I have some tiles I can measure the typical thickness. So I planed this down to about a 1/4 inch, maybe a touch under with the planer. This is cherry. And I did them both at the same time. I don't like to go less than a 1/4 inch on my planer. But a 1/4 inch I have done before. So they look really good here. So next I need to rip it. I'll check the tile thickness, but about 3/8. And then I could sand this edge a little bit, just round it off a little bit before I do that, because this edge will show. So just maybe take that edge off just a little bit. And I need 2 of them at about 31 inches. So it seems like a little thing, preparing this little bitty molding. But if you don't get the final touches, it just doesn't look good. So in this case, it's pretty important that, and hopefully I'm making them the right size so it fits right in there. A little bit of silicone and it's right in there. Okay, so Corian top to natural stone. You need to think about, if you have tiles, what you're doing. Maybe you're going to put backsplash on the natural stone so you would not see that. In this case, we're going to try this thin molding out of cherry to match the other molding.